Hi everyone and welcome to Book Boop. My name is Rachel and today I am super excited to tell you about my April TBR because it's actually also my O.W.L.s readathon TBR. This is the very first time I'm getting to participate in the O.W.L.s readathon, and it's actually the first readathon I've ever been a part of, so I am overly excited about it. If you've never heard about the O.W.L.s readathon before, it's created by G over at O.W.L.s. I will link her video down below that kind of announces it and everything if you want to check that out. But the O.W.L.s readathon is a Harry Potter themed readathon that's based on the O.W.L.s examinations that you would take in your 5th year at Hogwarts. She has put tons of work into it. It's insane how much work she puts into this, and it is absolutely amazing. She actually creates this entire booklet. I printed a small one. You can print a big one all in color if you want to. But she created this entire booklet that's got a whole bunch of different magical careers that she's put together, ones that you would have heard of before, like a Hogwarts professor, a potioneer, a wand maker, things like that. But there's other ones in there as well, like care of magical children, like being like a foster parent, things like that for magical children. But I look through all these different ones, and what you do is you pick a career that you want to work towards, and then depending on that career, there are certain exams or O.W.L.s you have to pass, and each exam has its own reading prompt. So you work towards this career, and then actually later on in the year, I think in August perhaps, there's the Newt's readathon, which is the exams that you would take in your 7th year at Hogwarts. And again, you're working towards the same career, and you try to pass those specific Newts to be able to graduate from Hogwarts to be able to go towards the career you want to go towards. So it's a lot of work and it's amazing. I'm so excited about it. So to start with, the career that I have chosen is the Trader of Magical Tomes. This here is my bullet journal, and I decided to put this on here. As you can see, there's tons of descriptions about the career and everything on there. But just to give you an idea, for Trader of Magical Tomes, you basically work in a bookshop, and 3 days out of the week, you work in the shop floor, and you help and assist people find books. You recommend books, things like that. And then 2 days out of the week, you would work in sort of like this upper room where you would get to basically read and review books and have the opportunity to just learn more and to just find new books to read. And this is the line that got me in here. It said that these 2 days are spent on the premises, but in a secluded trader-only floor that is set up for maximum comfort, according to research on optimal reading environment. Tea, pillows, and pets are provided. So this sounded like the perfect career for me. I actually was really interested in librarian as well, but a librarian in the magical world is much different than the librarian in the Muggle world. Librarian in the Muggle world, you think of helping people find books and maybe also, reading books and researching and things like that. Librarian in the magical world is actually a really dangerous job. You're hunting and looking for all these different and rare books, and a lot of times you're put in very dangerous situations. Some of the books are actually very dangerous. So I read that description. I was like, that is not me. Now, I am in Gryffindor, sort of. I've been sorted into Gryffindor according to Pottermore, or whatever the website's called now. I feel like in my heart I'm a Ravenclaw, to be honest. So I always call myself a Gryffindor. I feel like I'm a mix of both. But I really love this specific shirt, so I just think it's really cool. Anyway, so with Trader of Magical Tomes, I have to pass 4 O.W.L.s, and those O.W.L.s are Ancient Runes, Charms, History of Magic, and Transfiguration. So I have to pass 4 exams, or basically read 4 books. So let's go ahead and go into the books I have chosen for the prompts. Sorry, I know this is a lot for a TBR video, but I'm so excited about this, and I hope this gets you excited if you've never heard of this particular readathon before. So for Ancient Runes, the prompt for that is the heart rune, heart on the cover or in the title. So you had to pick something that either has a heart on the cover or on the title of the book. And the one I have chosen, and I can't hold it up for you because it's on my Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy, and I chose to read Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. It is actually a novella. It's the first in a series, I believe, on 5 books that are out so far. I don't think the entire series is over with. But the basic premise of this entire series, or at least I know of the first book, is the fact that it follows this boarding school that takes in children who have returned from magical worlds and are trying to reacclimate into the real world. So think Alice, who goes to Wonderland, or the Pevensey children that go to Narnia, or the kids that go to Neverland, something like that. They go to a magical world and then they return and they're having trouble acclimating back to living in the real world, and also hoping that they can find their way back to this magical world that they've left behind. So on that premise, it sounds fantastic. I'm really excited to read it. There's a lot of hype behind that series, and I still haven't gotten a chance to get to it, so I'm really excited to have an excuse to jump in. So that's the first one. The next one I have to pass is my charms exam. And so for that one, I have chosen, I do actually have a physical copy of that one. I've chosen Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. And the prompt for charms is Lumis Maxima, a white cover. So you can see it's a little bit like of a cream yellowy color. This is the closest thing I had on my physical TBR cart. I've been trying to pick as many things on my physical TBR as I can. So Eleanor and Park is a YA contemporary book, and all I know about it is a girl and a guy that are kind of form an unlikely relationship. They end up falling in love, and you wouldn't think they would. They're two very different people, and they end up getting to know each other and falling in love. That's all I know about it. It sounds really cute. I'm not a huge contemporary reader, but I'm really excited about this one and just to see if I like it. So that's my next exam or prompt. After that, I'm flipping back and forth between pages, my apologies. I have my History of Magic exam, and the prompt for History of Magic is Witch Hunts, book featuring witches or wizards. So I'm thinking I'm bending the rules maybe on this one, but I'm not sure. I think I've picked something that fits this prompt, and it was something I had physically on my TBR, and that is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I'm pretty sure we follow magicians, which are also considered witches and wizards in this book, I think. I just don't think they're specifically called witches or wizards. I think they're called magicians, but they can do magic. So I'm pretty sure this fits within the prompt. But I don't know much about this one at all, except it's supposed to be set in the 1920s. I think there is an element of time travel in this book, and it's something about how the magicians or the people that can do magic in our world are trapped, I think, in New York, and they're not allowed to leave New York unless they lose their powers if they do. And someone is trying to help save the magicians so that they can thrive or live or something. As you can see, I don't know much about it, but I've heard a lot about this book, and I've heard it's really, really cool. I'm a little nervous about it, though, because it's a bit of a chunker. So I'm a little nervous about having a big book for a readathon, but I'm really excited to jump into this one. I've heard a lot of really great things about it, and I'm hoping I really love it. I've heard that some people that have read the Diviners series have enjoyed this. It has similar kind of 1920s vibes, so I'm excited about that. All right, so the final exam that I need to pass to work towards Trader of Magical Tomes is the Transfiguration exam, and that one is Animagus Lecture, I'm not saying that right, I don't think, book series or series that includes shape-shifting. Now, this book, I'm so excited to tell you about. I can't hold it up for you because I don't have a physical copy. I was actually supposed to receive a physical copy, and it didn't end up making it in the mail, which is a total bummer. But I was able to be sent a Kindle copy of it. But when I say sent, I'm excited because, you guys, this is my first ever ARC. If you don't know what an ARC is, it means Advanced Reader Copy. As in, I was contacted by the author. His name, is Kyle Richardson. I almost said Chris. Kyle Richardson. And Kyle, if you're watching, thank you. He contacted me and asked if I was interested in reading his book. And I'm so excited. I'm honored. Thank you, Kyle. I got an ARC. I don't know if this is the first of many ARCs to come in my lifetime or the only one I ever get. And even if it is, I don't care. That's so exciting. So I got an ARC. And again, I can't show you because it's on my Kindle. But it is called Beast Heart, and again, it's by Kyle Richardson. I believe it comes out in May, and I don't know a lot about it except for the fact that I know that it is steampunk, and so it's kind of like that futuristic, but the steampunk type thing, and I believe it has to do with someone that can kind of turn into a monster, so it might be like a werewolf situation. I'm not really sure, but from the basic description I could pull from this synopsis, it sounds like there might be some kind of Transfiguration type thing with this maybe. And also I know that the main protagonist in the book, I think she's like a mix of human, but then she has some replaced mechanical parts, kind of think like Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles, that kind of thing. So I think there's some transfiguration related type things in this book. I'm pretty positive, but I am so excited to read it. Again, that's Beast Heart by Kyle Richardson. Oh, and I will list down below all the books that I'm mentioning in this video if you want to look back, because there's several of them I don't have physically that I can't show you. So if you need to see down below. Anyways, okay, so those are the 4 books I need to read to be able to pass all my exams. But because I'm an overachiever, if I were to read more books, as in if I were to pass 6 different exams, then I can receive an exceeds expectations after passing all the exams, because if you read 6 or more exams, you get exceeds expectations. And if you get, I think, 9 or more exams, you get an outstanding. So I want to get exceeds expectations. So I decided to look through the rest of the list of all the exams and pick ones I think I probably would be interested in if I were going to Hogwarts. Like certain subjects I think I would be good at. Excuse me. So I decided to pick Defense Against the Dark Arts, of course, and also potions. Now I probably would not get along with Snape very well, but I think I would be good at potions because I love kind of following directions and preciseness, and I think I would really enjoy potion making because usually there is a very specific way you do it, and if you're careful and you do everything correctly and follow instructions correctly, you will end up with this incredible potion. So I think I would be good at it and I would enjoy it. So for 2 more exams, because I'm an overachiever, I'm a 1 on the Enneagram scale, if that gives you any kind of indication. So for the Defense Against the Dark Arts is Grindylows, books set at the sea or coast. So the book that I've chosen, again, is one that I have on my Kindle, and that is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is a book that has recently came out. It came out, I think, around the fall time last year, and it is super popular. Got a lot of hype, and I've heard it's really, really good. The only thing I know about it is it's supposed to be based upon the 7 Dancing Princesses. I believe that's the name of the fairy tale, which is really interesting because I've never really heard of a retelling for that fairy tale before. It's kind of one that's not told as often. It's not kind of like a common one. So I'm really excited about it. And I know that is supposed to be set at this kind of dark, creepy manor by the sea. So it sounds like it fits perfect for that prompt. So if I read that one, I will pass Defense Against the Dark Arts. Lastly, for potions, that one is Shrinking Solution, book under 150 pages. So this one actually took me a long time to find because I had some books I wanted to read that were less than 150 pages, but I had trouble getting a hold of them. But one that I was able to find that I'm excited to read, and again is on my Kindle. This one is called Piper by Jay Asher and Jessica Freeberg. And this book is supposed to be, I believe, a retelling of the Pied Piper. And another reason I was excited about this one is that the main protagonist, she is actually deaf, which I think is really, really cool to have that representation in there. And I'm excited to read a perspective of that kind of character. So I think it's going to be really interesting. So that is for my potions exam. So that was a very long kind of convoluted description of my TBR, but if you can tell, I'm really, really excited about it. There's a chance I may be able to fit in more exams. I don't know. If I get through all 6 of those and I still have time in the month, then I may actually try to read more and add some on. But this is the absolute perfect time for this readathon. I'm so thankful that it's happening at the time it is because right now the world is in such turmoil. Most of us are locked away in our homes and aren't able to go a lot of places. And not only is like reading at least an escape, but also the fact that we've got this readathon to make it even more exciting and more fun and gives you something to kind of spur your reading along. So this is the perfect time to do it. So G, if you ever happen to see this video, thank you for creating this readathon. This is just such a warm place for our hearts. It brings us back to Hogwarts, so that's awesome. Are you participating in the O.W.L.s readathon? If you are, either link your TBR video below if you have a channel, or let me know maybe what your favorite book that you're going to be reading for the readathon you're excited about. I would love to hear about it. On this side of the video over here is my logo. If you click on that, you can subscribe to my channel and follow me on my book journey. On this side of the video over here is another suggestion for another video if you want to watch one right now. But thank you so much for watching. You rock. Happy owls, and don't forget to keep reading. Bye.